Carolina Hurricanes. Originally debuting in 1972 as the New England Whalers in the WHA, the team in 1979 saw a name change to the Hartford Whalers once they transitioned to the NHL. The Whalers' color scheme was green and blue, and while they looked mostly the same from 79 to 92, the 92-93 season saw blue become more dominant than their tried and true green, with gray being added. Thanks to bad ownership courtesy of team owner Peter Karmanos, who originally bought the Whalers in 94, 1997 ended up being the last year of Major League Hockey in Connecticut as the team would pack up and move to North Carolina. To Charlotte, where the Hornets and Panthers were? No, to Raleigh! There was a new arena being built there that could accommodate hockey, whereas the Charlotte Coliseum had rapidly aged to where the Hornets would relocate to New Orleans not too long after. And since he couldn't get a shiny new arena in Hartford, Karmanos would take full advantage of the new Raleigh arena, even though his team would spend their first 2 seasons in their new market playing in Greensboro because the new arena wouldn't be ready until 1999. He would choose the new name Hurricanes without holding any fan vote, though the team name worked as North Carolina does get hit by hurricanes. I want to throw in a disclaimer that this was written before Hurricane Helene hit before someone accuses me of sounding insensitive. I wish nothing but the best for all the victims. And a color scheme of red and black derived from their roommates, the NC State Wolfpack. Their uniforms came out in the totally extreme part of the 90s, amidst all the goofy designs and dark gritty reboots featuring a logo trying to make a hurricane look radical. And as someone born in the mid-90s, I'd say they succeeded. They'd stay like this with a tweak in 2013 which made the road white look decent, but the home red was bland. Adidas would improve the red home in 2017, changed the road jersey in 2019, and 2022 saw their black alternate, originally introduced in 2018, become the primary home. This all coincided with an ownership change as Tom Dundon became the Canes' majority owner, while Karmanos was relegated to a minority stake before completely selling his stake in the team soon after. As a result, Carolina's uniform lineup is a messy hodgepodge. The black home is meant to be an improvement of the Reebok version of this, which ran from 08 to 17, except with 2 storm flags instead of 1, because while 1 flag can mean a hurricane, it mostly means a tropical storm, whereas 2 flags always means a hurricane. That's a neat idea, but honestly this jersey could have had so much more going on with it. This thing is begging for some white on the arms and hemline. The lack of it makes this look like a black hole. The jersey on its own also doesn't scream primary. Making this alternate a primary doesn't work unlike other instances because not just how radically different this jersey is, but you also kept the old home jersey in the team's lineup. This to me is signaling the most delayed rebrand in human history. You would think the first year of the Fanatics changeover would be the perfect opportunity to do this, but I guess not. The logo also has an outline of North Carolina in the negative space between the flags, but why not have an outline of the state behind it to help fill out this logo instead? Their redesigned road jersey from 2019 is easily the worst in their history. I wouldn't mind if this was a faux back alternate that went, well, what if the Hurricanes existed in the 60s, but unfortunately it's not. Why doesn't this have a logo on it? All this does is make me want to drive down the street from my house and grab a Caniac box combo. On top of that, you should have known that most fans aren't into nickname jerseys. Nothing was wrong with the previous road in my eyes. It's certainly a hell of a lot better than this. I don't care if Tom Dundon thinks this is an improvement over the previous version. Though if you want a red version of this to act as the home equivalent, Reverse Retro had you covered. Seriously, throwing back to 2019 and 2022? What? Finally, their red alternate, which, like I mentioned, used to be the home primary. This does look good, but much like the black jersey, this could use some more white. Looking at earlier versions, the white helped balance out the black, whereas the placement of black on the cuffs and hemlines looked like they were dipped in oil. This briefly went away in the 22-23 season and replaced with a throwback, and like I mentioned, the color placement looks a whole lot better than it does on this jersey. Introduced last year, the white Whalers throwback, which is always followed by Whalers fans cursing everyone and everything under the sun. I like it, and it was nice to see them do a different jersey after having the green version before, though I wish they wore this a lot more often. Last year, Carolina added Nucor, who specializes in steel products, as the team's sponsor patch. I like this as it's both color coordinated and subtle, something easy to ignore. Still though, the Hurricanes are in need of a redesign. I don't know any other team in the league with 3 jerseys that have different logos on the front of each of them, and have the primary logo only on an alternate. But like I brought up, it wasn't even originally an alternate. Maybe we'll see new jerseys for Carolina in a year or 2 or a full-on rebrand. One can only hope. Tomorrow we head to Ohio to look over the Columbus Blue Jackets.